Hopefully right now people can hear me. If not, I guess this is going to be an event without sound. And of course, we have Dr. Jovan Walker Johnson coming on at 5:30. So that may be a problem too. So it seems like all the way around, we are having some tech issues. Awesome. So Jesse, you can hear me now. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're out there like communicating with me and letting me know. So maybe we should start completely over tonight because I still can't get Cassandra here. And so you may be just stuck with me talking about why I created this series. And for all my small business owners out there who would like to join me and have a fun rock star conversation, it usually goes a lot better than it is tonight. So maybe Cassandra will join us. I know at 5:30 we'll have Dr. Jovan here, and she'll be talking all about finances. But the one thing I did want to mention to everybody is a few tips on LinkedIn, because I'm getting this question quite a bit from my small business owners out there. And they talk about, should they have a LinkedIn company page? And I have to tell you 1,000% yes. If you are a small business owner, whether you're B2B or B2C, it does not matter. Real business happens on LinkedIn. In fact, LinkedIn has a 266% higher conversion rate than Facebook and Twitter. So think about how much you are sitting there posting and, trying to reach your audience there. Your company page could be working a lot better for you with minimal amount of work. All right. So if you don't have a company page, it takes really not much effort. If you are interested in creating one, I run a workshop on Tuesdays. It'll be May 16th for the next one at 5 o'clock Central Time, 6 o'clock Eastern. We go step by step and build your company page in just an hour. And when you're done, you have the page ready to launch, ready to post, ready to engage. Go ahead and start sharing it. But I'll fill you in on a few tips and tricks on how to make it really, really good so that it increases your SEO, which it does, number one. And number two, it works directly with your ideal audience. So I see Cassandra is trying to come about. Let me see if I can add you to the stream. Cassandra, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So these interviews are tough to do in the car. I have to be honest with you.
I agree. We're getting home soon.
All right. So I usually start out with, an introduction, and I'm going to let you do it. So Cassandra, go ahead and introduce yourself to the small business owners and people tuning in, who you are and the name of your company.
Okay, hi, my name is Cassandra Neal. We are the operators of CCIAGENCY. CCI stands for Convict, Correct, and Instruct.
So I always say we bring you rock stars every single week. And so I want to ask you, why are you an entrepreneur? And everybody's a rock star if they're an entrepreneur, so you automatically qualify. So why are you doing this and maybe not working in corporate?
Well, because I get to clock in whenever I want. I get to choose my own hours. I can pay myself however much that I would like. You get to pay yourself your worth. There is a plethora of information of why, but that's just a few of them.
So how long have you been in business now?
It's been 3 years now, since April.
Okay. And give us a little bit of an idea of what you do and who are the people you serve out there.
Okay, so we serve the Treasure Coast community. We offer different services, journalism services, Baby American Sign Language, and also conflict resolution coaching. Our mission statement is bringing the broken body back together. And what we're doing for the community is bringing us together as a community, and to be able to reduce conflict, reduce suicides, reduce divorces, reduce any kind of conflict that is going on in the homes, whether it's a mother and a daughter, or a mother and a son, or a father and a son. There is a lot of homes that grow up without parents, and we want to be able to just bridge the gap.
So how does the process work? do they contact you, or are you doing more of a community outreach? How do you get your name out there for people to know about you?
So we are doing both, actually. We do community outreach. We have different times where we're vending the books that we sell. I'm also an author of children's books. So sometimes we go out to the farmers market and sell some books, and we get in touch with the community that way. And then we gain volunteers that way. We recruit people to help and come alongside us with what we're doing and the services that we have to offer. But anybody can give us a call. I can give our email address. I can give our cell phone number, our office number, if you'd like.
Oh, absolutely. At the end, I want you to make sure people know how to reach you. So being in business only a couple years now, I would like to first ask you, the big wins, the small wins, what sticks in your mind as one of the greatest successes for you so far in a very young business?
Yes, the greatest triumph was selling 20 books in 1 month. And then also we had 30 people attend our last event, which is amazing because we started off with just 3. It was only just the 3 of us actually starting at our first event. We had what was it? The first event we had 3 years ago. We had was it the painting party? We had a shoe painting party 2 years ago, but 3 years ago was the first event ever. It was like in January, where you cut different pieces of the magazine to put something on a piece of paper. I forgot, a vision board party. I'm so sorry. I totally forgot. The first event we ever had was a vision board party for the women, to be able to just put everything down on a piece of paper, like your vision, what you have in mind for yourself in the next 10 years. So it's been amazing so far.
That is great. So what made you come up with a company to do this? Like, what was the aha moment? Like, I'm going to start a conflict resolution company. Like, how did you come up with it?
Well, I didn't come up with it by myself. My husband and I actually run the business together. And so he's actually the one who came up with just the name CCI. A lot of people are just running around and not thinking about what they're doing wrong, or not actually saying what they're doing is wrong, or willing to admit when they're wrong. And so that can really cause bitterness, resentment. It can cause conflict in any kind of friendship, any kind of relationship. And so we also want to be able to reconnect people back to God. And it's like, if your relationship with God is not doing well, then your relationship with others is not going to be doing well either. So we're here again to just bridge the gap, bring the broken people back together. It's just like, if there's something going on in the household, you may not perform well at work. You may not perform well as a parent. You may not perform well anywhere, if you're not together. So we're just here for accountability. We're here to coach you through it. So whenever somebody needs help, we're just a phone call away.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So do you serve people just locally, or can you work with people on a more national level, through, Zoom, that sort of thing? So tell me the process. Do you have an office? Can you do it throughout? What is the process here for you?
Absolutely. So if anybody is, let's say, in Washington, D.C. and wanted to do a Zoom, we definitely can offer that. We can definitely offer anything on video. We actually are on Calendly. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but they can book a meeting via Calendly and set up a session with us on Zoom. So it's definitely available to people outside of Florida. You can be in Georgia, you can be in Japan, as long as the connection's strong, right?
Not in the car.
Yes.
Well, you weren't the only one having connection problems. Nobody could hear me for the first 5 minutes that I was speaking.
Yeah, I realized that. I was like, oh, I don't know what's happening. But that's how technology is. And you just got to roll with the punches, because everyone's in a different walk of life, stage of life. So, another reason why. Yeah.
Tech is messy, but life is messier. And when you're an entrepreneur with a family and with technology, I don't know. I'm surprised we're able to keep anything together today. Quite frankly.
Yes. That's actually another reason why I became an entrepreneur, is because my parents did it. Like, I have my mom and my father who were entrepreneurs. They still are. They're still running their own business. Their business is older than I am. So I believe if they can do it, I can do it. And if they've done it with 4 kids, then I can do it with my 4 kids.
You have 4
so
kids?
Yes, I have 4 kids. Yeah.
All right. So I guess my question for you is, as a mom, a
Yeah.
lot of moms I will talk to have said the biggest reason they even became an entrepreneur was that they had their first child and realized they couldn't juggle the way they wanted, and they wanted freedom and control over that.
Mhm.
So for moms out there who are having to juggle this, can you give them a little bit of an idea of what maybe looking at entrepreneurship could be for them?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Yes. Please become an entrepreneur if you're a mom. No one's going to yell at you for being late. No one's going to be mad because you have to leave work, because you have to pick up your kids from school. I mean, there are a lot of pros to this. There's a lot of pros to this. It's just like you get to chase your dreams. You get to do what you want to do when you want to do it. And you can do something that you're passionate about. You don't have to think about the values of the company. You can make your own values of your own company. You can have your own mission, your own vision for what you want for your community, and offer whatever it is that you want to offer. Because everybody has different skills, everybody has different talents and everything. And the only way you're going to be able to really do it successfully is if you have a team. You just have to figure out who's the team, who's your tribe. Like right now we have 8 volunteers, and I wouldn't be able to do any of that if it wasn't for the community, if it wasn't for the outreach, and if it wasn't for the team, because we have really good support team.
That's amazing advice for people, because I think sometimes they try and do it on their own, and it's not possible to do every single thing on your own. You do need to have a support system. Now, is yours a nonprofit, your company, or is it a for-profit?
No, we are an LLC for profit. Yeah, we actually thought about doing a nonprofit, but maybe later on then it will be, like a branch of the business is a nonprofit. But some of the things that we do, we sound like a nonprofit because everything we do is mostly giving. One of the things that we have is we're sending a single parent on a retreat every year, like at no cost to them, or a married couple who's like at risk for divorce, like blended families. There's a very high percentage of blended families that don't make it, or they grew up without parents that were together. So we do an assessment to make sure, like, hey, are you really at risk for divorce, or are you just wanting a free retreat? Like we want to make sure that we choose the right person. That person is heavily prayed over to make sure they're the right person. We pray for confirmation for that person. Last year, we were able to take a single mom and her 2 kids on a retreat. We paid for their gas. We paid for their food. We paid for everything, so that all she had to do was just sit down and relax and just fish. And her kids had good time with our kids, It was amazing. It was wonderful.
So you've given a lot of really good reasons to be an entrepreneur. You're taking control of your destiny. You get to make your own hours. Nobody's yelling at you. You can pick up your kids when you want. But let's be honest, it's not all fun and games. Entrepreneurship is hard. What have you found to be one of the biggest challenges you've had owning your own company?
I think the challenges are the finances, the profit and loss statements, the taxes and forms and documents. I mean, contracts. Those are the stuff that nobody wants to do. But as our team grows and the people who join us hand in hand grow, and the volunteers are coming with us and helping us with different stuff, we're able to succeed. So despite the trials, the triumphs, I mean, they overpower the trials. Definitely. Definitely.
Now, tell me a little bit more about, some of the platforms you're using out there in marketing. Are there certain social media platforms that work best for your particular audience for you to reach that you're working with?
I want to say Calendly is a good one because it's the easiest way to book a meeting. Yeah. And then Google Meet and Zoom works very well. Definitely.
And social media, are you on Facebook? Are you on LinkedIn? Are you using any type of tools?
We are on social media. We are on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay. And those are working well for you. Are you finding your target audience to gravitate to those marketing channels?
I want to say yes and no, because our audience really is children, and most kids don't have Facebook and Instagram, but their parents do. So to get in touch with the parents, it's actually a good avenue.
That would be actually your customer. It isn't the kids, it's the parents who are going to dictate, what they're going to be doing. So tell me, you have 4 kids. I'd like to know, like, what's the tip out there to manage 4 kids in general and your own company? Is there something you do this with your husband, which is a good support because you both understand what entrepreneurship is all about. But is there something you specialize in the company and he specializes in?
Yeah, so I'm the communications director and theater director. So when it comes to conflict resolution coaching, I have my degree in journalism and communication and conflict. So when it comes to all things communication, it's email Cassandra.
Oh, okay.
Get in contact with Cassandra, definitely, yeah. And with the theater program, I'm just the person who likes having fun with kids. My husband is too, but the books are turning into plays. So it's actually a great opportunity for just me to be a playwright and be able to like just talk to these kids, minister to these kids, have fun with them. To manage 4 kids, I want to just say have fun and let your kid be a kid. Like, don't make them an adult too quick. Don't make them an adult too fast because they're their age. A lot of times we hear, act your age, but it's like, what is your age even act like? I mean, there's people my age that are definitely acting different than how I'm acting, or doing things different than I'm doing. So I just feel like if you have a baby, be a baby with your baby, like do all the things that a baby does with them, and look at them, stare at them, like talk to them, even if they can't talk to you, and make sure that every single person has a role in the family. Everybody has a role. Everybody knows what they're doing. Like I have a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old and a 6-week, which is here with me now, and an 11-year-old. And every single person has their own role. My 1-year-old is the one who's picking up stuff because that's just their milestone. That's where they're at. That's where he's at. He can pick up stuff. He can pick up things. This is what he's doing. And then our 2-year-old, he's got sentences. He can talk to us. He can communicate with us. He's talking sentences and he's not even 3, yet. So, and his role is just to help me with the laundry, help me empty out the laundry. He's putting his own laundry inside of the washing machine. So it's just, it's amazing, but just don't limit your child with their capabilities either, like just because they're a certain age doesn't mean they can't do something. So like just see what they're good at, and encourage them with whatever they're good at and discipline your kid. Yeah.
I love your parenting advice. So like my kids are grown and gone, but I have to say I see you light up when you talk about your kids. So I'm gathering this is a huge passion and you've made a business of doing this and keeping families together. And I love the fact that I almost feel like you're bringing up little entrepreneurs, it's like, you know what, think on your own, do what you're really good at, maximize your thing. And I feel like entrepreneurship is something, people will say, is it nurture? Like, is it the way you're brought up? Were you born to be an entrepreneur? Can you learn it? I think it's a little combination of both because you grew up in an entrepreneurial family. I mean, that's what you said. So it's almost like, did you ever expect to be anything else but an entrepreneur? No.
No. I mean, it was great. I started working with my parents when I was 7 years old. I became a greeter at the door. I was doing my alphabetizing the files. I was an administrative assistant before anybody was an administrative assistant. Okay. So, and I loved every second of it because I always had a summer job. I knew my role with how old I was. And that's just that my parents taught me, it's just, you're independent. You're going to be able to do this, and just do your best. And they disciplined me. So I knew, okay, even if I didn't get it right the first time, the second time you try it again and again, and eventually your brain will understand how to do something well. And so here I am. I don't know. I don't think I would ever be anything else than an entrepreneur, like you said. And for those who think, like, oh, my parents were entrepreneurs, but I don't know if I'm going to be, just try it. Like, you never know.
So would that be your advice to entrepreneurs out there, is just the ones who are jumping into it to just try it?
I want to say know what you are going to do first, but it's just kind of like you don't know the pool is cold until you put your feet in the water, And when I became a mom, that is when I got to put my feet in the water. because I don't think I would have ever tried it. I've declined many jobs just because I know that this is something that is going to blow up. We're going to be made for this. And one thing that is small will one day grow into something larger. So I think of our business as like a tree, like the seed has been planted, months will go by, and you just got to watch that thing grow until it has some fruit. And eventually you'll be giving fruit to the community, and everybody's going to be like, yay, apples and bananas.
I absolutely love your attitude. Entrepreneurship, the majority of it, believe it or not, out there, everybody watching, it's mindset. And your mindset is focused on it. You have the energy for it. You have that enthusiasm, and it's contagious. And I'm so glad that we were actually able to connect, because a lot of people before this realized our tech was pretty messy. Nobody could hear me. Nobody could hear you. You have 4 kids and you're doing it in your car. And I even was like, I think we're calling this off because I don't think this is working out. It's not quiet. It's not happening. And I am so glad that it has, because just talking with you for me tonight, you're actually making me feel better about being an entrepreneur. And I've done it 6 times over. And I'm sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to get off here. I'm really happy to be an entrepreneur, because it's just very hard. And that's why I created this, was not only for people to be exposed to you and your amazingness, and you truly are, on so many different levels, but also there's so many people out there who are tuning in who are walking this journey. And you need to hear what people like you are saying. And hi, Andrea. Oh my gosh, you're right. Mindset is key. We've got Lucia who says she's proud of you. We've got lots of clapping. I
can't even read the chat.
That's so awesome. But it's your mindset. You've got to keep going. And I love the fact that as entrepreneurs, there are times where we don't really think it's going to work out, and I don't get that from you at all. And I love it. Love it. Love it. So if there was a quote out there, is there one that you stand by, a certain quote that sticks with you that you'd like to share with people that could give them a little bit of inspiration if they needed any more tonight? Because I think you've been all inspiration. But is there a quote that you live by?
I muted myself by accident. My bad. The quote that I really love is actually a scripture, and it's love is patient. 1 Corinthians 13:4. I have lived by this verse forever, like since middle school, because you cannot do anything without love, and you can't do anything without patience. And honestly, I think that's why I decided to have kids, is because I need someone to teach me it. And the more you have of it, the more you can offer it to other people who don't have it. So definitely be patient. Be patient with where you're at. Be patient with the progress. Be patient with the process. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with other people. And just life is just better. Like, you're just happier. You're just so much happier. And you have less stress too.
You know what the biggest problem in life is I'm so impatient. So
yeah, people just saying it.
Just you bringing this up, I'm like, is she talking to me tonight? Like, what is going on here? I'm like impatient. I want instantaneous results.
Yeah.
If I planted it, it better grow fast. And it's not like that. And so, thank you for telling people. I think that's amazing wisdom for people. So, all right. So I want you to tell everybody how to get a hold of you. And if they need, conflict resolution, I think they could find somebody like yourself incredibly valuable in their life. So how do they reach you?
Yes. Our office number is 772-242-3521. You can also email us if calling is not your jam. That's okay. It's not everyone's thing. CCIAGENCY2020@gmail.com.
Do you have a website as well?
We do. It is CCIAGENCY.business.site.
Awesome. Well,
all of our services are there, so you can check them out. The prices are there. And if you need to book a meeting, let us know. Email us.
Awesome. And can you let people know where to get your children's books?
Oh, yes. They are on Amazon.com. Just look up Cassandra Neal. Jeremiah's Last Roar was actually the first book that I've ever written. And it's because my son's name is Jeremiah. So Yeah. That book is turned into a play. So save the date, August 5th,
Awesome.
2020. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, I'm so glad that you came on and that we could connect tonight. Thank you for an incredibly inspirational conversation. I'm really glad that the two of us were able to get this together. So
Me
you're
too.
going to go
Thank
and
you.
take care of your 4 babies, and everybody who's tuned in tonight. I really hope you like this conversation. You're walking away with some real gems, because I think Cassandra dropped some things that even I'm going to walk away tonight and kind of shake my head and go, you know what? I'm in a really good mood. And I'm glad that I had this conversation with you. So anybody out there who has a story to share, if you are an entrepreneur, I have an audience who needs to hear it. Wouldn't you like to be somebody like Cassandra, who gets on here, shares your passion, shares your business, but also shares wisdom for others who are walking this journey, who maybe need to hear what you have to say on a night like this? And so thank you so much, Cassandra. For those of you who need to reach me, you can get me at 8simplesteps.net or on all the socials. Just go ahead and DM me if you are a small business owner who would like to be a guest. And go to my website if there's anything that you need to move your business forward, eliminate those common mistakes, kind of reduce the overwhelm and fear. I'm right here, right alongside you. All right, everybody. This is a wrap of another Rockstar Entrepreneur, and it's a double episode tonight, so don't go anywhere. I will be back with Dr. Jovan. So,
Thank you, Maureen, for having us. God bless you.
it
Bye.
was wonderful. Good night, everybody. And
Good night.
all right. Good
Thank
night,
you.
everybody. Bye.